And now, as billed in TV Times, the last ever edition of Spitting Image.
The hippos are hungry today, Wills. Din-dins for the hippos.
Father, I expect you're wondering why I called you here today.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Father?
Yes?
I'm bored. I want to be king.
Yes. You will be one day, Willie.
No, I want to be king now.
Well, look, you'll have to wait until I've been king first, and I can't be king until your grandma's finished being queen, can I?
If you really loved me, you'd skip your turn.
What? No, that's not fair, Willie. I've been waiting bloody ages to be king, all those years playing polo and generally hanging about.
Father, what if Grandma were to, how shall I put it, disappear?
What do you mean?
Well, put it this way. Unless you abdicate afterwards, there will be no more hungry hippos ever.
What? You wouldn't?
Try me.
Oh, all right. OK, I'll abdicate.
Splendid. I'll have my solicitor call yours in the morning. Barnes, Mothercare Bond Street, and step on it.
I'm not going to abdicate, really. He's so naive. You can get away with murder.
Hi there! A fabulous, excellent sound there. But now, in at number 26, the truly fabulous, excellent sound of Paul McCartney with his new single, The Complete Condensed Works of Paul McCartney.
War is horrible. I love Linda. Black people are the same as white people. Except they're black. Let's all go and live in Scotland, singing tra-la-la-la-la-like.
Here we are, the two most popular politicians in the country, and we've got no chance of gaining power.
That's why we're the two most popular politicians in the country.
Every year, we ask hundreds of different people why they read The Guardian, and we get hundreds of different answers. Some say it's a lively paper which is hard to beat. Others read it because it questions almost everything from a liberal point of view. And some say it doesn't distort the facts. One simply said,
"Of all the tropics around the world, it's the peeper with a vibrant flesh angel."
Another said,
"It's God honest retorting and extremistly well rotten."
1.5 million people read The Guardian for 1.5 million different reasons. So make up your mind tomorrow.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with T.
Tank.
Yes, your go.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with A.
Another tank.
Your go.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with Y.
Yet another tank?
Yes.
Oh, look, there's a tank.
Where?
Behind that tank.
Oh, yes.
Hey, look over there behind that tank.
What is it?
A Big Dipper.
A Big Dipper? Where?
No, sorry. It was another tank. My mistake.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with G.
G? Gunk?
No, giant man-eating frog.
Oh, yeah, fascinating.
Look, would you mind not making that noise?
Sorry, comrade.
Oh, look, a red admiral.
No, it's the peacock butterfly. Perhaps the finest of all butterflies. And sexy, it's so randy, it makes love over 12 times a second. Even more if there's another butterfly present. Talk about a shaggy. It can... The tiny brown woodant or, as is more commonly known, the nookie machine. It only Rogers twice a year, once for 7 months and once for 5 months. If the wood ant went on an 18 to 30 club buddies holiday, it would do it more times than the courier. This green, creepy, crawly thing is so promiscuous, it prefers to remain anonymous. We catch it here, about to rush to the bathroom for another box of tissues. What a little raver! Talk about...
Absolute filth. How on earth they can call this family entertainment? Awful.
Yes, it's time once again to meet the Video Nasty family.
Hi, honey.
Morning, dear.
Gee, you're in a bad mood this morning.
You'd be too if you saw this electric bill.
Morning, Pop.
Hey, how many times have I told you not to blow your daddy away?
Morning, Daddy.
Morning.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, not him. Oh, I'm going to be sick. This is the limit. You see, this sort of thing simply encourages young people to do nasty things in public. Even I, ancient and saintly as I am, suddenly have the urge to murder someone.
Wait with her! Criminal libel!
No.
And so, that brings you the truth. You're a Harold, angry person. This is Harold Angry.
I wish I'd done that weeks ago. You were so noisy.
Well, thank you for that smattering of applause from the audience of 5 people plus the stage crew. And without further ado, let's have the first word. There we have it. Second place in a by-election. Margaret.
Yes, now then. Second place in a by-election. Of course, the correct pronunciation is a great result at this stage. It's a victory which occurs in the midterm of a government's life, a victory which actually gives the impression of being a defeat. That's a great result at this stage, a victory.
So, a great result at this stage. Thanks, Mags. Neil.
Actually, the correct pronunciation of this word is "we would have won but for the tactical voting by the soft Tories." And this is a phrase which means basically first place in a by-election. It's a situation whereby your own candidate really wins but doesn't actually get a seat in Parliament to prove it. It's first place, if you like.
Fine. Now, David. Second place in a by-election, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to rush you.
Right. Briefly, it's actually an archaic word, which, in fact, we in the SDP Liberal Alliance don't know the meaning of.
So, there we have it. Second place in a by-election is either, and I want to make this quite clear, a victory, it's first place in a by-election, or it's what Smuggins at the end said. Roy?
Well, obviously I can't agree with either Margaret or Neil on television, so I plump for David's definition.
Well, Shorty, have you fooled the panel?
No.
I now declare this emergency meeting on Central America open.
Fire away, Ed.
Well, that's what we'd like to do, sir, but Congress isn't too happy. They're not so sure about El Salvador.
El Salvador. No, don't tell me, Ed. I know. He's the big guy with the mustache.
No, Mr. President, El Salvador's a country.
I don't care what he's like, Ed, as long as he's not a commie.
No, sir, our man's moderate.
Moderate? Is that like a commie, Ed?
No, sir, he's against Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Now, he is the big guy with the mustache. Good old Nicky. I remember playing golf with him, Ed.
Mr. President, sir, Nicaragua's another country.
You don't like these guys very much, do you, Ed?
Mr. President, you don't seem to understand,
Oh,
sir.
yes, I do, Ed. In small countries like Chile, guacamole, and pina colada, democracy is being undermined by unscrupulous men who will use any means at their disposal to achieve their ends.
That's the, CIA, sir.
The what?
And now, here's Rubber News, read by John Selwyn Gummer and another vegetable.
Good evening. Cricket. England batsman Andy Lloyd was hit on the head by a fast delivery and is now suffering from shock, concussion and double vision. This now makes him England's best cricketer.
Manchester United manager Ron Atkinson left his wife this week. He packed 4 suitcases, but said he'd be back later for the rest of his jewellery.
And pop star Mick Jagger's baby Elizabeth appeared for her first photo session this week. Multimillionaire Mick denied the child had been born with a silver spoon in his nose.
welcome back. And incidentally, you joined us at a good time because it's time for the Scottish Saves of the Season competition. Quite extraordinary. 6 saves in all. All you have to do is select the top 3. Firstly, save B.
And only the goalkeeping of McLeish has kept this side in the game. This half he has been absolutely resolute. He's kept these forwards at bay.
Jimmy Roberts. Davis! It's a save! What a save! I've seen some saves, but that one takes the biscuit.
Seconds away from the final whistle, 0-0, a replay on Tuesday, an absolute certainty as Claude passes back to the unflappable Dobson. Dobson, the safest hands in Scottish football.
So there we are then, the 6 Scottish saves. Now, all you do is send a postcard to, as Sportsman of the Year, a Capital Radio London, and here's how the postcard should look. And don't forget, incidentally, your entries must reach us by 12 o'clock last Friday.
Oh, please, sir, are we going to give the teachers a pay rise?
What? Are we really going to give some woman a lot of money for standing around all day trying to keep a group of morons in line?
I think we should, actually.
Oh, dear. That's a bit ironic.
What do I want? More pay. When do I want it? Right now. What do I want? More pay. When do I want it? Move along. You're nicked. Right now. What do I want? Into the van. More pay. Take that, Nazi pig. More commie fascist pay. Right. I'm under arrest. Ah! Not the ghoulies,
You know,
please.
the police are doing a very difficult job in the face of some appalling violence.
And now, the case for making Clive James the new Poet Laureate is presented by Clive James.
Tonight I thought I'd read you a poem. If you've got to have a royal bard, why not have someone who looks like a tub of lard? Someone who can quote Proust, Joyce, or Nabokov, and still make jokes about people who have it off. Tit, fart, willy, bum, sex, poo, à la recherche du temps perdu. Good evening and welcome to our Euro phone-in. The European elections are upon us once more, and the leaders of the 3 major parties are here to answer your questions and inquiries. Any second now, calls should be flooding in from all parts of the United Kingdom. Interest in the EEC is such that I would ask you to be patient. If our lines are engaged, we'll get you through eventually. Well, fortunately, there are a few seconds when we can talk usefully to Mrs. Margaret Thatcher before the onslaught of phone calls. Mrs. Thatcher.
Yes.
A good journey to the studio?
Not bad.
Right, Mrs. Thatcher, okay.
Let me
Mrs.
finish.
Thatcher, you've had your say. If you keep talking, we're not going to get anywhere, are we? Just keep quiet for a second. Just button it and we'll come back to you. Our lines have been open since last November. So let me just refresh your memory as to the number to ring. There it is. Well, you're all obviously contemplating your questions very carefully and deeply indeed, so let's just go away and come back again. Bloody switchboard.
Excuse me, Margaret, can I borrow your mirror again? The Daily Telegraph. For boring old toads.
Pony Double O, the train set for bigger boys.
In 1979, Mr. Sabrini had a slight accident with his car. Fortunately, Mr. Sabrini insured against just such an eventuality with us. And 3 days later, we were able to replace his car with one exactly the same, even down to the colour. Not only that, we personally killed the man who serviced his brakes and wiped out the family of the garage owner. The Mafia. We like to make a drama out of a crisis.
And the first caller for the Euro phone-in. Hello, welcome to the Euro phone-in. What is your question, please?
Hello? Hello? Is Neville there?
We haven't got a Neville, but I'll put you on to Mr. Kinnock. Perhaps he can help you. Hello?
Oh, Hello, Mr. Kinnock.
Yes, how can I help you?
Have you seen Neville?
I'm afraid I haven't, no.
Well, what about my monkey wrench?
Well, I must apologize. I think you must have got the wrong number.
Oh dear, we seem to be having some more problems again this week with Spitting Image. I'm sorry about that. We had the gremlins last week as well. If you just bear with me a second, I'll have a word with my director and find out exactly what we're going to do. Hello?
Look, Stuart, will you please stop doing this to the programme? It's not clever, it's not funny, and nobody believes you.
Yep. Could I just say hello to a couple of people?
No, you can't. Cue tape.
Well, I had a lot of letters last week.
Shut up!
Well, I'm pleased to be able to tell you now we can go back to Spitting Image. Hello, Mum.
I want you to imagine that I'm a policeman and he's a thug. Right, now come at me. Come on, come on, come at me. Come at me, come on. Stop or I fire.
That was Commissioner Newman on unarmed combat. How to deal with the unarmed.
Ian Botham, Andy Lloyd was in big trouble out there the other day with the fast bowling. How do you deal with a bouncer?
Oh, I smash him in the teeth and have another drink.
Hello? Will nobody talk to me? Hello?
Oh, hello, Mr. Robbins.
Mr. Healy, what a great pleasure to speak to you. And what is your question?
Well, look here. You do know, don't you, that the election was last week?
Well, yes, thank you very much indeed. You're entitled to your opinion, Dennis, but some of us find these elections extremely stimulating, vital, and indeed lucrative. But we only have a limited number of years until the next Euro elections take place. OK, let's hurry along to the next item.
Hello, I am Perez de Cuellar. You haven't heard of me because I'm the Secretary General of the United Nations, but we are not allowed to call it the United Nations anymore because apparently that's breaking the advertising code. So from now on it is just the UN, so that you will know in future that in a crisis the initiative will be UN-inspired, the people will be UN-supported, and the problem will be UN solved. Please don't kill each other. Good night.
Excellent stuff. And don't forget, of course, he's in session next week on my new cabinet.
You're fired, Jensen.
And now on British television for the first time, the newest megastar in the pop galaxy, Virgin Records present Cat George.
Good bloody evening. You know, there's a lot of silly nonsense talked about hunting. After all, it's only a form of conservation. If the animal population got too high, there wouldn't be enough food for all of them. I've had hundreds of supportive letters on the subject. Here's one from A. Grateful Pheasant of Berkshire. Dear Prince Philip, thank you so much for shooting my wife and children. Since they copped it, I've been able to scoff myself silly, and things aren't nearly so cramped in the old nest. Thanks again, A. Pheasant. Or this one from a fox in Surrey. Dear Phil the Greek, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to being savaged to death by dogs next weekend. Anything to get away from those nauseating hunt saboteurs with their wishy-washy SDP politics, yellow cagoules and Range Rovers. Yes. Keep up the good work, A. Fox. So if you're interested in preserving wildlife, do remember, put it in the 4-star compartment. Otherwise it'll go green and rotten, start running around the place, and you'll have a hell of a mess. I mean, who wants a stink like that if you've got friends in? Anyway, good bloody night.
This is the Open University. Foundation course, Behavioral Sciences, Level 4. How to be a university student.
Hello. One of the things you may miss at the Open University is the experience of actually being a student. This course is designed to fill that gap. Last week, we covered sitting on the floor and drinking coffee with funny little white blobby bits on top. This week, we're looking at
staying up really late and talking about very important things.
Let's take a look at the basic model for staying up late. Wispy beard, dirty underpants on top of the wardrobe, and the essential Che Guevara poster. And it's the Hall of Residence room on which the staying up late theory is based. To this we can add the standard number of students. This is the basic model. For variants, look in your course unit notes. The sociology students example, the geology students example, engineering students trying to work out how to get in the room, medical students queuing up to jump out of the window, and the economics students example. Finally, let's look at interesting things to talk about when staying up late.
The meaning of life, nuclear disarmament, have you lost your virginity yet, women's rights, gay rights, guys you know who are benders, Hillman Imp engine repairs, getting drunk and being obnoxious in Indian restaurants.
That's it for now. Next week, we'll be looking at the theory of vomiting up last night's Newcastle brown all over your bedclothes, then trying to clean up the mess with your toothbrush.
Now, for the first time on video, from the makers of ITN, the Lunchtime Early Evening News at 10 Late Night News.
Here is the news read by Alistair Burnett and a woman.
Welcome back. Death. 2 Britons and 47 non-entities have been killed in a tragic fire, plane crash or motorway pileup. No names are being released until the rest of you are sick with worry while we drag our feet contacting the relatives.
Now the Middle East. Lots of very unpleasant things have been happening in the Middle East, although nobody quite knows what, where, why, or how to stop it.
Violent scenes erupted today due to the strike, which is now in its 4th week. 36 policemen have been taken to hospital to arrest the injured.
And finally, something rather funny has happened somewhere involving either a footballing nun, a speaking dog, or a man who hops to work.
And now the main points again. Death, injury, agreement, strike, war, Soviets, Americans 2-0 and stupid bastards. Good night. This is the irritating bit where they can't hear what we're saying. Why don't you smile as if I've just said something funny?
Okay.
That's the Lunchtime Early Evening News at 10 Late Night News. £29.50 from all good stockists.
Job you take, every heart you break, every Irish wake, I've been watching you. Every wall you build, and everyone you've killed, every grave you filled, all the blood you spilled, I've been watching you. Can't you see you belong to me? There'll be a bill to pay on that judgment day for every empty place, every word I've hate, those you subjugate, those you violate. I've been watching you.